I'm joined on the set now by Julia Dumont, who's a French journalist for France 24's partner website, InfoMigrants. Julia, hi. You've covered a lot of stories about migration during 2021. If you had to give an overview of the past year, what would it be?
Well, unfortunately, our first observation is that people who are leaving their home looking for a better life in another country are too often dying from that. The majority of the migrants who died in 2021 died crossing the Mediterranean Sea. It remains the most dangerous route for people who are fleeing Libya, but also sometimes Tunisia or Algeria. And it has never been so true. We just learned today that more than 160 people died in the Mediterranean Sea during the weekend. It is more than 1,500 people who have disappeared in the sea during this year, according to the International Organization for Migration. And if the Mediterranean Sea is still the most dangerous route, more and more people are also dying on what we call the Canary route, which is connecting the West Africa coast to Spanish Canary Islands in the Atlantic Ocean. It is more than 900 people who died in that sea during the year. And of course, there's also the English Channel. The sinking that happened at the end of November was a reminder of how dangerous this route can be. At least 27 people died trying to reach the UK in that boat, and among them we saw this very young Kurdish woman who was trying to join his fiancé, and also a Kurdish family with a 7-year-old little girl.
Julia, this year was also notable because migrants were actually used in several places as real tools in diplomatic conflicts.
Yes, absolutely. The main example of that strategy this year was the situation at the border between Lithuania, Poland, and Belarus. To remind you, in the summer, the Belarusian president, Alexander Lukashenko, started organizing a system to smuggle people from the Middle East, mainly from Iraq, to the European Union. The consequences were dramatic. Thousands of people have been trapped at the border of Lithuania at the beginning of the summer, and then in Poland in the beginning of autumn. And people have also been trapped in the woods in Poland, scared to be pushed back from Poland to Belarus. And at least 14 people have died on both sides of the border in Poland and in Belarus. But I'm giving you the big pictures, but there are also a lot of tragic individual stories. We have written about this 4-year-old Kurdish little girl who got lost in the Polish woods after her parents were pushed back to Belarus. And we also heard about the story of this Kurdish woman who died in a Polish hospital after losing the baby she was carrying when she crossed the border.
Was it the first time that migrants have been used in this way?
No, not really. Earlier in the year, in May, 10,000 people entered the Spanish enclave of Ceuta in northern Africa from Morocco. What happened is the Moroccan authority decided to stop controlling people at the border because a leader from the Front Polisario has been admitted in a Spanish hospital. And there was also a precedent in March 2020 when a crisis emerged between Greece and Turkey after the Turkish president Recep Tayyip Erdogan decided to open the border and told the people that they could freely enter the EU, but of course it was not the case.
Julia, thanks so much for coming to speak to us. Julia Dumont from InfoMigrants.